Let's get the likes to 100 comments, discussion points, super chats. Welcome. Here he is, people. Yeah. As I was saying, make sure you're following and subscribing to all his social platforms and things like that, people. His comments, the links are in the description. Make sure you're there, man. Hey.
Listen, you know what? I think we pick Arsenal pick soon, in the sense that like they won so many games, but they still got to go to Newcastle away. They still got to go to Anfield away. They still got to play City away. So you look at it thinking, please don't lose. Just please don't lose. Listen, I'll be so happy if they do it. Just to say, you know what, Arsenal have done it. But I know, because I live in Manchester. I know the Red Side Manchester is peak right now. It's like, come on, my guy, you know it. Like they're not playing around that side there. Like City, okay, but Man United, they're creeping in. And once they get the nose in front, it's a very difficult story we're talking about here.
Do you feel like we've gone from being like the hunters to the hunted then?
Yeah.
Because we've got a target on our backs, man.
What?
So go on.
What? If this goes wrong, yeah. If this, I'm hope I'm right. I hope I'm wrong. If this goes wrong, yeah, it's almost like we'll put all our egg in one basket. Reason being, you throw a FA Cup, you throw a Carabao Cup, so you're really, really like relying on this Premier League to come through. So nobody knows what's gonna happen in Europa League. So this has to come through.
Do you feel like if we don't win it now, there won't be another opportunity? Because obviously we can't predict the future. But you mentioned Man United. They look like they're building under Ten Hag. It looks like they might get new owners. Newcastle probably are going to come on the scene soon. City are going to hit back. Obviously, we're in a transitional period as well. Do you think like we have a chance of a lifetime? It does feel to a degree a bit like the Leicester season, where it feels like everything is coming just into time for us, and we've got a fantastic opportunity.
You couldn't ask for a better chance than now. Because obviously, you got to remember, Liverpool are not really clicking it like that.
Another thing that I forgot to mention that could hit back as well. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So, if they miss this opportunity, I don't know when we're next going to get it again. And obviously, the next season, Chelsea coming back stronger. Now, regardless, nobody knows what's going on the other side of London, but you don't want Arsenal to miss this. I really hope Arsenal come through. Seriously.
If I play devil's advocate with you, just say we don't win the league title. Oof. Is it a failure? Because if we sat there in August, the goal probably was Europa League final, go as far as we can, like you said, in the league and FA Cups, and probably qualify for the Champions League via the domestic campaign. How do we look at it then? Would it be a failure if we don't win the league then?
Yeah, you could say it's a failure because you've had it in your hand. And I think because many Arsenal fans have never really been in this situation before for a long time. So to be at that position, everybody sang so much praises about Arteta. Don't get me wrong, listen, in terms of recruitment, they've done ever so well. Very good recruitment. You got to give credit where credit's due. But it's just like you miss an opportunity to bring a better striker. And Keita's done very well. But Arteta is not a finishing article. Do you know what I'm saying? So you missed the opportunity
go on.
To say, you know what? I said, as you said earlier, this doesn't come around every often. And if you have opportunity to stay up in the league, listen, you just stay up. But I hope they come through it. I really do.
What's your thoughts on Edu? Because you kind of mentioned it. We've had a good transfer window. Obviously, in the summer, we brought in Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, a couple of other players. January, we got Trossard and Jorginho. What's your thoughts on our transfer window? Because it feels like some might say in the last two windows, obviously, we've made some good moves. But where you look at Douglas Luiz, Caicedo, Mudryk, Felix, just addressing all areas, especially when it's our top target or that higher caliber of target, we've missed the ballpark. Do you think that's a failure of Edu? Would you say that's a concern? Because we're going to get Champions League football in that.
I mean, listen, we know that Arsenal will be playing Champions League football next year, okay? Which means you are more attracted to bring different type of players. But what Edu has done in terms of the recruitment is done very well. They bought some guys on not a big money, but if you get to sell it now, you're selling people like Martinelli. If anybody come from Martinelli, Nothing more than 90. 90, that's where we're gonna sit and have a conversation. 80, listen, send that email back. I'm not interested. That's don't even start that. Yeah, Martinelli, 90, we can sit and have a coffee. 70, I'm not interested. Don't bother. You know what I'm saying? You got people like Saka, bruv, minimum I will take for the kid 95.
I'm saying
Don't
100,
tell me,
man.
don't tell
100.
me 82 with an add-on. No. Give me 95. You know what I'm saying? So that in terms of what they brought in through and the player they've come through the academy as well, it's been great. They will make a lot of money if they decide to sell the players. At the same time, the addition of Jorginho, it's great. You got to give credit to Edu because, you know what I'm saying, he's used his Brazilian link. Say, you know what, I need to get 1 or 2 man for the other side to come through for me, and which they have. You know?
Right, still.
They have. And he had to, you know what, many Arsenal fans will probably say they were expected to get rid of Aubameyang, you know, Lacazette, you know, all those guys there, to get rid of them and to start with this brand new squad. You look at it thinking, okay, you know what? I give credit where credit is due. And Arteta, you know, Edu, and everybody else seem like they've done their recruitment really well this year.
What have you made of Arteta generally then? Because obviously this is the first time I've got to pick your brains. What have you made of Arteta's time at Arsenal and this season as well then?
No, listen, Arteta, he was fortunate enough that he learned under Pep, you know, and then he got into this position where I think many Arsenal fans was like, oh, okay, let's see. Him winning the Carling Cup or the FA Cup kind of helped his CV a little bit. But you could see, like last time I was at the training ground, I remember when I was going to the training ground, I could recognize everybody. Yeah. I would go in the training ground. There's so many people that I was like, who's these people here? He said, oh, these people do this. This is because Arteta, he said they want to invest in terms of what they do behind the scene. And which is proving the point what we see here. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's overall as a coach is looking promising. And as he got as he got what he takes to take it to the next level, you know, that's what we shall see. But he's got a very good backroom staff, and everything seems to be working in the right direction. If he gets Arsenal to play back to play Champions League football again, that's a great achievement. Great achievement.
I mean, that's great, man. Before we get into this Arsenal stuff, though, obviously, this is a chance for me to pick your brains. Like you said, it's literally for Reece, remember, yeah? And I think with the question there, they've kind of jumped ahead and it sets it up. A. Dot has said, who's the best player you've played with and played against?
Play with, listen, I was fortunate enough to come through the academy and just to go train with the first team, man. Bro, it's like Christmas. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, that was like, it's the best. To this day, bro, it's the best feeling ever. For Arsene Wenger to call your name Fab, he say, yeah, I want you across this side at 10 o'clock, and to go and train with those guys, it's like you couldn't ask for any more best person.
Pinch yourself, is it?
Yeah. It's unbelievable, you know. To play against Dennis, even to train with Dennis, it's incredible. This guy come to training properly. He trained like even though Dennis was in the later stage of his career, he trained like he's still 18 years old. And to me, I was like, wow, you got to learn from these guys. Player that I played against, the toughest opponent, that you go home and think, this guy is very good. Postcodes.
Oh yeah, man. I don't envy you. Getting the ball off him's a myth.
Yeah, you go home, you say, you know what? Yeah, this guy is This guy is proper up there. But the one there's two surprised me. Who's two like, okay, I see what you mean. Balak, he was incredible, and I was like, I knew it's good. It's Michael Balak, but I didn't know it was this type of good. Technically very good. Is able to move his body in a direction thinking raw. But Steven Gerrard, oh my God.
Wow. Some big names coming out there, man.
Let me tell you something, yeah. I knew my guy was fast, but I knew that guy can move like this. I'm like, the man take off here. I'm like, this is a horse here running, This is not human being running. He's taking off proper. I'm like, wow. He's Gerrard on his peak day. Wow. Gerard,
So
but
what,
like
Gerard or
and
Scholes?
Paul Scholes all day long. Scholes is is controlling everything, everything that you see. You know, when you watch the game, you see guy, but this man, he doesn't have to make two step. Everything come to him and move to him, and he's moving like everybody moving according to him.
He's
You know what I'm
dictating
saying?
everything. Yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody's moving according to him. If I say left, we're all moving left. If I say right, we're all moving right. So for me, I was like, how can you be this good?
Don't
Like
make sense.
you have to ask yourself a question: how can you be this good where everything in your team is moving according to you? That's how good that guy is.
Wow, raw. What's the best piece of advice Wenger gave you?
Just enjoy it. Literally enjoy it. You know, enjoy it because it comes so quickly and it goes out so quickly. The game has so much emotion attached to it, but you got to be in the moment, enjoy every single second, enjoy the win, enjoy the lose, enjoy the journey. You know, as I said many times, this is the best job in the world. I kid you not, bro. This is the best job in the world, especially if you're right up at the top there, everything going right. Wow, this is the best you can get. But you also need to make the most of it and enjoy. That's what I can say. Enjoy the journey, man.
Raw. So what, for you as a player, what would you say is the best and worst games you played in, man? You must have a memory of when you was
Wow,
at flipping hell, man. I was atrocious, or bloody hell, was amazing.
getting relegated with Birmingham City, yeah. Bruv, I feel like I wanted the ground to open and swallow me up. You know, it's the worst feeling ever. And I mean ever, yeah. Because you turn on Sky, Birmingham City got relegated. You watch the newspaper. It's the same thing. Everything keep going the same thing, the same thing, and you're like, it's just the worst feeling ever. Worst. You work so hard to get to this position, and to say that you guys are not good enough to stay in the Premier League, bruv, it's a tough pill to swallow, man. It's horrible. But I I learned a lot playing that. I learned a lot from my time at Birmingham. Because when I went to Birmingham, if you don't remember, it was myself, Nicholas Bentner, and Seb Larson. So all three of us from the academy went to
The
Birmingham.
Hayland boys, yeah.
Yeah. But that was the best thing that ever happened to me in football. Best thing ever happened to me. Don't get me wrong. Like I would have loved to play for Arsenal, but but at the time they had so many guys ahead of me, and to go on loan to Birmingham, you go to play men football. You can't ask for any more than that. And it was like every single day, bruv. Bruv, I'm telling you, yeah, I went from training with my guys, and I went to train to Birmingham City, yeah, bruv. Takwa flying like karate, blood. What I mean, yeah, when the manager blow the whistle 5 aside, it's man eat boys, bruv. If you're not ready for it, you're not ready for it.
Long.
I'm telling you, if you're not ready for it, you'll get eaten alive. I was like, raw. To the point where after training session, I had to call my dad. I was like, Dad, this is difficult. I said, son, if you want to do this, this was what's all about. And listen, I'm glad I stuck to it. And it paid huge for me because it made me the player I am. And I'm glad that I got experience.
I mean, so how hard is it then? Because obviously, especially in today's day and age, like you probably see it, I feel football's kind of, if you play well as a 16, 17, 18-year-old for 30 minutes, you're the next star, you're the next this, that, the other.
Yeah.
And I feel fans really underestimate how difficult it is to go from reserve team football to playing in the senior game on a consistent basis. Just how hard is it? And what is it specific? Is it like speed of thought? Is it strength? What is it? What's the major differences?
To go play from reserve football to say if you like today you're playing for Arsenal and the reserve team, right? And on Saturday you're playing for the first team. You're not you're not in the bench. You're starting. All right. That even the whole journey from getting to making away from the hotel to the game. It's a whole experience, bruv. It's a whole experience. You're almost like you're all like zone out of it. You're not even yourself anymore.
Overwhelming.
And when and when you get in there, you're like, okay, this is getting serious now, like, and the whistle blows, people start running. You're thinking, bro, it's like, it's not a joke, bro. When I say it's not a joke, yeah, and I mean, if you're not ready for it, because you got to understand, yeah, if you play with a man who play League One, yeah, they're not playing. They're not playing with 3 points. Their mentality say, if I win, I got to pay my mortgage next week, bro.
Yeah.
So that's a different type of mentality to play. And that Monday, they're after you, like it or not. they're after you, regardless how you like it or not. So you either buckle up and say, you know what, I'm gonna, even if you give 45 minutes of everything, yeah, I'm happy with that. It's just the intensity of it and the desire of wanting the ball and playing and just keeping, don't hide away from it. Just do not hide. That's what I can say. Don't hide away. Get it, move it, get it, move it. That's it.
When you was obviously, like you said you went from Arsenal on loan to Birmingham. Like you kind of mentioned, mortgages, fighting relegation, and all of this. When you initially went in, did you, away from the obvious, did you feel you had to prove yourself? Because if I look at the Birmingham midfielders, they must have come in and said, you know what, this geezer's on loan. He's come from a fancy Arsene Wenger academy. Did you feel you had to prove yourself to them? Did they try and psych you out of the game? Did you feel you had to do too much? Like, where was you at with that?
Well, I went in there. Yeah, and it was like, okay, you're from Arsenal, and what? What have you and what have you done? So it's almost like automatically you get into the team. No, it wasn't even like that. It was like you have to really earn the right to get into the team, and every game you play, you have to be at it, And you know what? One thing that I would tell footballer, yeah, especially current footballer, yeah, one of the most painful thing is to watch your mate playing on Saturday while you're supposed to be there with them. But that pain, yeah, there's no money can buy it. Money cannot buy that. Money cannot buy that. You say what you want to say, yeah? Money cannot buy that because you want to be there. But instead you're in the bench or you're at home watching.
You're on the TV, yeah.
So you're like, nah, I want to even work harder to get in there. So that start from, my mentality is like, okay, I'm coming in, I'm gonna buckle up. It is what it is. Like it wasn't given to me. I went to Birmingham. I didn't play for the first 6 games.
What was that like mentally then?
Wow, I was staying in a hotel for 2 months. Yeah, so I was stuck in. So I'll go training, go home, go back to my hotel in a 4 wall, stuck in my hotel room.
No friends, no family, no
nothing. And then I'll go home to mom and dad in London, and I come back again. And if you're not playing, the Saturday become long Saturday.
It's lonely, isn't it?
Yeah, and at those time I wasn't driving either. So it's almost like I need to get my head around it. And I went to see Steve Bruce. I said, Gaffer, listen, you brought me here to play, but you're not playing me. What's going on? He said, no, son, you're going to wait for your opportunity. You have to end the right. I was like, okay, cool. When my opportunity came around, that's it, bro. I went in, and that was me staying. Yeah, I went in and I stayed in the team. That's it. And I mean, it wasn't pretty, but I got to do what I had to do to stay in the team.
How difficult is that then? Because obviously, I suppose when you go into the senior environment, there could be times you're playing well in training, you're one of the best players, you're not in the team. There could be times where you might not be doing any of that and you're still in the team. How difficult is it to deal with? Because they always say football's a funny old game of opinions. If the world doesn't think you deserve to play, but the gaffer does, you're obviously going to play in it. And you lot have your own opinions as ex-footballers or current footballers at the time. Like, you lot know what's going on already.
Nah, I mean, listen, it's always helpful when you have one or two senior member of the team who's like, okay, don't worry about it. You always need somebody who's older than you in the change room that will look out for you. And they will come in and say, listen, I've been through here. Just get your head down and just keep working at it, because football is a game of opinion. That's just fact. And there'll be time where, put it that way, when I was at Birmingham, Steve Bruce's son, Alex, was in the team. So imagine how I'm sitting man thinking, you're only playing because you're dad.
Yeah, your dad. Yeah,
that was just the shout. You only play because you're dad. But then credit to Alex is like, no, I want to get out of this place and make my own make my own path. And he went on and to do what he had to do. But it's almost like you really mentally have to be tough to be able to survive in that environment where it can go two ways. It can either crumble, or you can say, you know what, man up and let's do it properly.
So who was that senior player for you then? Like you said, like you need 1-2 senior players. Who took you under the wing in that?
I had Matthew Upson when I was at Birmingham.
Another
Matthew Upson, another Arsenal good. So Matthew was top. Matthew was so good to me. He's like, Fab, come on, get your head around it. You'll get your chance. And we built such a strong friendship. And every single time I had issue, I'll just go to Matthew. Matthew just this that. And then later on, I think around about March time or February, we had Andy Cole came on loan.
Oh,
so like that's how I met Andy Cole, and literally from there to now, me and Andy Cole we talk like every day. Just from meeting him on that moment, and it just build up that relationship, and we kick it in, we talk. We cut jokes and everything. Like he's like he's like my older brother. Like we talk more or less every day.
That's a madness. I got a question here, and I've been sorry, I've been airing it for a while. Did Arsene Wenger ever get mad in the dressing room?
You know, people always ask me, Arsene doesn't shout.
I admire that about him, man.
Like Arsene don't. You know, yeah. The first time I was in the change room, I was like, hold on a second. I expect Arsene to go crazy, like take off his clothes. Nah, Arsene will walk in there. Everybody sit down quiet. You give you 5 minutes of break. Nobody say anything. Or everybody go to the drink, blah blah blah. And 2 minutes he will say his opinion, and that's it. And that's, bruv, I'll bet anybody if Arsenal got bad in the change room.
So how do you react to that then? Because obviously, like you said, like you're expecting, and obviously you've obviously played in England. You're expecting the manager to let you know you've been crap. How do you react mentally when he hasn't done that and he's cool? Are you like, what's going on? Does that make you want to play even better? Because
here's the trick, though. Here's the trick. In training session, Arsenal is very crazy. That's the trick.
I've never heard that before.
In the training session, Arsenal don't like it. Arsenal don't like when you play the ball back. That's a big turn off. What he said, I want the ball to go forward. Why are you playing back for? And you know, we be doing like a 5-a-side. When you play back, it will blow the whistle. So why you do that? Why? Play forward. You know, it's this little thing. And that's the thing I learned from Arsene, that he's calm with it. And when you speak to Arsene, yeah, this is what caught me off guard. He will ask you a question and he'll pause. So you think, hold on a second, should I answer or should I not answer? So they say, Fabrice, how are you?
Mind games.
How are you? You're like, I'm okay, boss. I'm okay. Oh, okay. Are you okay? But is that type of person where he, you know? But in terms of shouting, Arsene never lost in the change room. Never ever lost it. Never.
Wow, man. I mean, it sounds like a trick question. I think everyone probably knows you was probably ecstatic. But how did you feel when you obviously made your debut?
Bruv, that day, yeah, the whole weekend leading to it, it was like a dream come true, man. I'm swear to God. It was like.
In fact, sorry to cut you. When did you like to paint a picture? Obviously, you said at the weekend, yeah. What did they tell you on the Monday, and then you're playing on Saturday? Like, what?
So we had Sunderland, the Carling Cup on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Arsenal, the first team played on a Saturday. Get back. And during the whole time, I was training with the first team. So on a Friday, Arsenal split the team into two. So you've got the big hitter who's playing on a Saturday, yeah, and the one on that he wasn't sure they might be playing on a Monday in the other team. So I was in the other team. So I was like, I'm trying to put two together, thinking, okay, maybe, just maybe, I might be involved. No problem. Training finished. Arsene brought me to side. I said, make sure you're here on Sunday because we've got training on a Monday. I might need you on Tuesday. I was like, okay, no problem at all. I went in there, trained, no problem. So on a Monday, we came back in, we trained. But what happened on Monday? The guys that played on a Saturday weren't training anymore. It was just the guys that on the other side of the team. I was like, I'm trying to read into like if this is what's going on here. I wasn't sure.
That.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, cool. So we did a little bit of possession, bang. And then Arsene said, this is the set pieces. He started calling people name. He started putting the position, and I hear my name. I was like, oh, okay. Let me just play it cool here. Cool. All right, cool. Then we did the set pieces. Then it's get the starting 11, and he put, because if you notice, most of the Arsene picture when he talk about tactic here, he's always on the floor with the cones.
Yeah.
That's when Arsene did the tactic word. That's what Arsene did the tactic. So he's sat in the corner and putting the tactic word. And he's saying people's name. He's saying my name. I was like, oh, this is really getting for real here, boy. So, and then training finished because I wasn't in the first team change room. I was in a reserve change room. So the list came in our change room. I see everybody's name. But 3 names under the bottom is my name. Bring your tracksuit tomorrow. Bring your passport. You're flying. I was like, oh my God.
Yes, did it.
Bruv, I'm telling you, yeah. I was like, okay. So I went home. I said to Dad, my dad said, I might be playing, but I'm not sure. I might be playing. I said, what do you mean you're playing? He said, like on a Tuesday for Arsenal. I said, are you serious? I said, yeah. So, bruv, we got in on Monday, did a light training session, and then boom, we went to Sunderland. bruv. Went in the hotel again. Arsenal doesn't name the team. Nothing. Don't name nothing.
More
Nothing.
mind games.
Nothing, bruv. We got to the hotel, and Arsenal had a conversation. Started, we had a. This is the first time me traveling with the first team. Yeah, this is the first time me taking PJ, bruv. Bro, you don't understand. When Arsenal travel from London to say Newcastle, yeah, we play Sunderland. Say Newcastle, they take private jet. So for me to take that shit, like, bro, this is. I went from Victoria Line, to PJ, bro. I'm like, right, this is taking serious not here now.
Oh man.
Okay. Let me just take it all in. We got into the hotel. Boom, the Marriott hotel, my own bedroom. I said, raw, like
sweet life.
The game is at 7:35. We go to the hotel at 12, so I've got all day just to chill. Like, I thought it was a joke. Seriously, I thought this is not normal. But we traveled to Sunderland to stadium. Bruv, I walked in the change room here. I see my name, 44 Wamba. Bruv, I was like, this is for real now. Like, this is not even joke thing. Arsenal came in, starting 11, this. And I was in starting 11, bruv. And that was just when I just lost it, bruv. And I mean, arguably the best feeling in the world. Beside the birth of my children, that one there, top it up. You ain't get any more than that.
That's a madness.
You ain't get any more than that.
That's a madness, bro. So what would you say that how do you get yourself mentally prepared? Because obviously you've got a job to do. Like obviously, like you said, you're gassed, you're traveling, you think it's a joke, then it's starting to become real. Now you're in the team, you have to play. You obviously want to give a good account of yourself. How do you pattern yourself up mentally then? Because are you of the behavior like I'm playing like this is a final, I might not be here again? Was you scared? Where were you at?
You know what? I was just calm because it was me and Alex next to me. And then we had Robin up front. We had a boy at the back. So we had a very good team. And when the whistle blow, is that first touch. When you get it off your feet, you get it, I was like, okay, now I get it. Now I know how you feel. And then you just run with it, It is just, and you just become normal, You're like, okay, I'm playing with my mate now, so I just have to get around it,
That's a madness. So what would you say is the toughest away ground you've ever played at in this country then?
I always say Newcastle and Old Trafford.
Why?
Because Old Trafford, if you under Ferguson, if you notice, once you might not notice it, when you play Old Trafford,
the refs.
They target the first. I think that they see the starting 11. Yeah, if a person never played at Old Trafford before, that's the target. That's the who to go to because you never
win it. Yeah.
So wow, you never played it before, so we're gonna target you. Everything will go towards you. Crosses, corners, free kick, everything will come to your end. and when you go to St. James Park, wow, I kid you not, they have the best fan in this country.
It looks
on Sunday at Wembley, bruv, if Wembley not careful, I'll be surprised if they've got any ticket left. Because that's how much they are so passionate about their football club, It's incredible. It's incredible. Like a corner in Newcastle end, it's like you feel like a goal, but that's a corner. A corner feels like a goal because they're so. I'm just happy that things are turning around in that side. Seriously, because they
deserve that, man.
They deserve that opportunity.
Obviously,
I said Old Trafford and St. James Park.
That's a great way to answer that. Obviously, I've got a question here. It said, you are one of the most consistent tacklers of your generation, and that's facts. How do you rate today's midfielders?
People are so neat and tidy, and which is nice, but I like people to rough up people, you know what I'm saying? And I think I'll say this, my favorite Premier League player is N'Golo Kante. Sometimes I watch this guy, I say, bruv, what you have for breakfast, I beg you share, because this is not normal, bruv. Because he's able to break the play and to move. You got to be able to break the play and turn it from defensive to offensive. Bruv, that's a skill alone. That is a very good skill. and to keep running. And it's not like he's running and trying to bash people. People are actually bouncing off him.
And he's not the biggest as well, which is
crazy. There you go. So, I wish Arsene signed him long time ago. Seriously. I wish Arsene signed him long time ago because he's a dream come. Like, if you're playing at the back, to have someone like N'Golo Kante in front of you, wow,
that's like a cheat code.
Yeah. You can't ask for any more. You cannot ask for any more because he's just like, he's at the right place at the right time.